Jasmine here from JM Beauty. I know it's been a long time since I did a video, but I'm back and I want to do more videos. So guys, please don't be hesitant to let me know what you guys want to see. I did do a poll on my Instagram in regards to what you guys want me to talk about on my YouTube channel, and I have a few questions that I did write down that a couple people had DM'd me, and I'm super excited to actually answer all these questions that you guys may have. But first, guys, can you please like, subscribe this video, share it to your friends if they find this helpful. I'm super excited, and let's just dive right into it. Okay, so as you know, guys, my products did launch on August 13th. I have now available lash, volume lash trays, tweezers. I have lash shampoo, of course. I always retail that to my clients. And I think I have tape and other accessories. As I grow more, the business will have more products. A few of the questions are about products and vendors, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about why they're asking these questions, since I haven't been on YouTube in so long. But I promise to vow myself to be on YouTube now. Hold on, let me take my necklace out. A little bling bling. Anyway, so of course, guys, I want to be more active on here, so please don't be hesitant to comment. Follow me on Instagram at JMBeauty with 3 underscores. Or you can follow us on Facebook at JM Beauty, or you could comment on YouTube, JM Beauty. So the first question that you guys asked was, how did you gain such a great clientele? Okay, so this is like the most common question I feel like I get all the time, because a lot of new lash artists struggle with clientele when they first start, as anybody does. Nobody starts booming with clientele when they first start. I would say, like, just being consistent. I've always been consistent on Instagram. I'm really not consistent on YouTube as much, but I want to be more. But because I'm not so camera friendly when it comes to the camera, but I'm trying to get out of my, shell with that. I would just say always be consistent. You have to really provide great work. That goes a long way. Like, I want to say, like, before I started actually getting like clientele, I had to take another course to improve my work better. So a lot of us, we only take one course and we haven't learned enough, or we're still struggling. Don't be nervous or scared to take a refresher course or take another training that may help you in the long run in regards to your work. A lot of clients like to see really, really great work, great pictures on your Instagram, a lot of referral programs for you and your clients. Word of mouth is always great, but I feel like the main thing is always providing great work and great customer service. If you have great work, great customer service, so that you're knowledgeable in what you're doing, your clients will automatically gravitate towards you. Instagram is definitely a great platform to help build your clientele. Mostly everybody clientele comes from Instagram, so you have to really be social on Instagram to get clients. When you're anti-social, it's really going to be hard for you to kind of get those clients from Instagram to reel them in. Another thing I would say, always post great pictures. A lot of us need to get like a nice ring light, a nice camera, making sure that we have great angles on our pictures. A lot of us I see on Instagram are struggling with pictures, angles, and I feel like that's something that really helps our Instagram feed, and it will also help clients draw more attention to you when they see clean cut pictures. Also, I think you guys, like, y'all don't like to take your time. Like, I see a lot of my students that I do train and a lot of other lash techs, they really want to just be so fast, and they want to jump into volume so early, and they want to just move fast. Before I started getting into volume, I was doing classic for like a year or so. I wasn't into volume so fast as most people are trying to dive into volume, because that's what they see on Instagram. They see the full, fluctuous, wispy looks. And sometimes it's okay to just start from the bottom, get your technique down pat. I always tell my students, before you even dive into volume, because they'll take a classic course and they'll be like, oh my God, when can I, dive into volume? And I'm like, listen, master classic, then you come to volume. Do not think that you're just gonna hop out of this class, be an expert, and dive into volume lashing. That's not how it works. You guys have to understand that classic lashes is still in. I still get clients wanting classic lashes. You can still charge $100 and up for classic lashes. It's not the end of the world. You have to get your isolation down pat, in order to advance to a next level. And I feel like a lot of us, we rush our process just to get to where somebody else is. So keep that in mind. Like, always have your isolation technique down pat before you're rushing into growing into another skill level. That's really, really important. Next question is, how do you make your set so wispy? Okay, like this is like the really most common question. I honestly get tons of questions on wispy sets, and this is like crazy. I really cannot explain sometimes about things I do, and people be like, oh, can you do like a wispy lash map class, or can you host a seminar about wispy sets? And it's honestly just playing with curls, diameters, and limbs. Like, I have a previous video that I did about a wispy set on my page that you can kind of click and look at that from the previous videos. But honestly, it's really just kind of figuring out what works in a way. Like, first of all, you have to know your curls, diameters, and what difference they make in looks. A lot of us don't know what 0.3 look give, 0.5 or 0.7. You have to understand what those looks give, and you have to understand what your client wants and use those diameters to give that look that they want. Right? So a lot of us don't know that, and a lot of us don't know how to use our curls properly. C curl, D curl, CC curl, DD curl. There's all a time and a place to use those curls, and I feel like everybody just stick to either one curl, one length, one diameter, and they're done, they're set, and it looks really, really basic. So the best tip I can give you is to just play around with a lot of curls and limbs. Do not be scared to try different curls and limbs, guys. And also making super wide and narrow fans to see how they look. Okay, so a lot of us, we're conformed to just narrow fans, or we're conformed to just wide fans. Always mix them in, play around with them. You have to see what you like and understand your product knowledge. Okay, that's number one. Understanding your products and what they're for and how to use them. Understanding your tweezer. Different tweezers give you different looks. This is not the same. Every tweezer is not going to create the same fan for you. Like, I noticed that when testing out my tweezers, right? So I have a volume tweezer and I have a mega volume tweezer. They're not going to give you the same look, right? So my volume tweezer is my Blue Magic tweezer, and it's really, really good for 0.7, 0.5s. They can be used on 0.3s, but it depends. This is why I call it a volume tweezer. My mega volume tweezer is good for 0.5s and 0.3s, no 0.7. And you can honestly tell the difference in between both of the tweezers because they have a shorter boot and one has a longer boot. One has a different grip than the other, and one can make more wider fans, one can make more narrow fans. It's just up to you about what you want to do and how you want to style your clients, right? So you just always have to keep in mind your products that you're using, the lashes you're using, and the diameters and curls and all that to your wispy sets, right? And if you want to be like a messy wispy set, like, you just put everything everywhere like everybody else do. I swear, that's what everybody else do. But a neat wispy set where it's just like the spikes, and you just, the spikes, and then you have your basic your base, and then you have your spikes that are 3 millimeters longer than your base. Like, that's just like a stripless look, but I think everybody pretty much knows that. I think they're really referring to like the messy look in here, because I think that's what people really have a problem with. And honestly, the best thing I can say is to just play around with different curls and diameters. Just put it all in one set and see how it looks for you. Okay, so the next question is, was it hard finding a vendor, and how long did you take? Okay, so of course, everybody knows, like, I've been testing vendors. I'm really, really transparent on my Instagram. I don't mind my followers knowing anything about my background or where I came from or how I got started. I'm very transparent on my Instagram, and I've been looking for vendors for a year and a half, right? And I feel like it was probably the most difficult thing ever, because I'm super picky. I'm a Libra, and everybody knows Libras. We're unbalanced, we're picky, we're indecisive, we overthink, we're just too much, okay? So I'm a Libra, and when I tell you, finding products that I like and I felt like were quality were super hard for me, right? It took me a year and a half to eventually find my vendor, right? The hardest part about vendors is being able to trust them, okay? So you have to be able to understand, for one, that every vendor is not here to out to get you. They're not here to scam you, okay? But for me, I don't have nobody in my family that has a business. I don't have anyone who ever did anything like this as far as business vendors selling products. So this is my first time. I'm like the black sheep of my family. So this is my first time actually scouting out vendors, looking, talking to them. I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't know what to look for. I just jumped in and, you know, just figured things out through trial and error. I've spent so much money on testing products and vendors, probably close to 15, maybe 10 to 15K. I just want to give you an estimate. It could be less, could be more, but it's up there. Like, it's really up there. I spent so much money on products and vendors that it does not make no sense, right? And that's because I really didn't know what I was getting into. I wish I would have took a course or maybe a class to figure out how to really talk to vendors and how to really find out what vendor is good, how to check them out and things like that. Like, I never had a class on that. And I'm glad I went through my trials and tribulations to actually go through that. So now I know when I go test other vendors or tell other people, I always can tell them like what to look for, what not to look for, what to say and what not to say, and things of that nature. So yeah, it took me a year and a half to finally find my Lash vendor. And when you're talking to them, you have to be up at night. So like 2, 3 in the morning, I'm up at night. Like, honestly, selling lashes is not for the weak, okay? Like, it's been only a couple weeks for me and I'm already like, oh my God, like stressing a little bit, because you have to keep up with your quality. You have to keep up with your inventory. You have to keep up with your marketing. You have to understand that when you're selling something and you're providing a service, it's 2 different target audiences, right? And you have your target audience for your services, which are your clients, and now you have to go and try to find your target audience, which are your lash techs, beginner lash techs, volume experts, whatever you're trying to sell to. You have to go find that audience. So it's different content, it's different ways to talk to them, and sometimes it could be different marketing schemes. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Having an online business is honestly like having another full-time job. And I didn't know that until actually getting into the business, right? I kind of knew it was going to be difficult, but I didn't know it was going to be like having 2 full-time jobs, because I do lash full-time. And I'm also trying to sell my products and create content and ship products. And it's just like, you probably would have to get an assistant at some point, because it's definitely hard to maintain both and also have a family, your personal life, and things of that nature. So that's another thing you need to know before getting into e-commerce. Another thing that you need to know is how to talk to them. Like, they're Chinese or Vietnamese or Japanese or wherever your vendor is. So you have to understand they don't have the same language barrier as you. Some of them do speak really good English, but then some of them don't. So you kind of have to talk to them like a baby sometimes. Like, kind of got to break things down. It can get a little frustrating because you're like, no, I mean this. And then they're like, what? So you have to really break things down a little bit more than what you would do when you're talking to a regular person. So that's number one. And you always have to be very clear about what you want, right? So if you know you like something a certain way, or you figured like you didn't like something, always figure out what you didn't like, so that when you come across another vendor, you can articulate these problems to them so that they won't have that same problem. And you can nip that right in the bud. So that's really the only tips I want to give you. I do think I want to have like a little mini webinar about how to find vendors, how to talk to them, how to scout them out in the future, because I did get people asking, can they buy my vendor, or how did I find my vendor, and things like that. So I definitely want to kind of provide more information on that, because I do get a lot of people who are curious about it. So if you guys want me to, just comment below or comment on my Instagram and let me know if I should or shouldn't do it. But I definitely am thinking about it. So yeah, I think I would do it. Let me know. So the next question was, can you tell us the difference between your tweezers, right? So I kind of already went over this. The blue volume tweezer, let me just get a pair for you, just one more. Okay, so this is the Blue Magic tweezer, okay? And this tweezer is our volume tweezer. And as you can see, the boot is cut a little different. And these are only really made for 0.7, 0.5. And it can pick up some 0.3s, but not a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Because the boot is not that big. These are very good for just volume sets. I love this tweezer. This was actually my first tweezer I came out with. And it definitely, it definitely is my baby. So these are the Blue Magic tweezer. The boot is different. The grip is a little different. And it's really lightweight. It's not heavy. This is our pure white mega volume tweezer, okay? This tweezer is like a 90-degree, and it's the foot of the tweezer is much larger and create more of a wide fan. So that's why it's more mega volume. And the grip, you cannot really pick up 0.7s with these. You can only pick up 0.5s and 0.3s with these. So these are why they're called my mega volume babies, because you can make extremely wide fans. You can pick up as many as you want. These are my go-to for most of my sets. These are my #1 seller right here, these babies. These are our lashes. I came out, you probably backwards, but it's a deeper than lashes. And these are how they are. They're super dark. They come 16 rolls, and they're like super dark matte. So the one thing that I kind of wanted to provide in my you have to know what you want when you want to provide products, okay? And the one thing I really wanted was some dark matte lashes. Give me dark matte lashes. This is what I use. This is what my clients love. This is what I love. And when you don't believe in your products, nobody's going to believe in them, okay? So when you love a product and you come out with it and you believe in it and you use it and you show the results, people are going to want to buy from you, okay? These are super dark and matte. Sometimes I get people say, oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be that dark, and they didn't have to do so much full coverage, because these are going to give you such a dark look, and they're super fluffy. And they come 16 rolls. I already used some of these. These are my 18cc 0.5, but I kind of used it, as you can see. But I love them, like I do. At first, like when I tried them, I instantly fell in love with them. So when you testing the product, make sure you instantly fall in love with it. If you don't instantly fall in love with it, they ain't for you. These are my babies, and I love them. I'm thinking about coming out with another line that isn't so dark matte, but everybody seems to really love these. So I'm really excited about how far I'm going to take these. And I love my vendor. I love our relationship. So yeah, these are the babies, and these are my babies. I'm coming out with more tweezers soon, and I'm also adding more diameters and more lengths to my website. I'm adding C curl, and we're going up to 25 mm. As this, my first drop, I only went up to 22 mm, and I only had 0.5 and 0.3. So this time we're adding 0.7, we're going up to 25, and we're adding C curl. So I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, these are my babies. Put those over there. Woo. And also, like, you have to understand, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable, but you have to understand, when you are starting an online business, you're really not going to make a lot of profit right away, okay? So you have to think about it. Once you buy your first batch of inventory, the first lashes, you have to understand that the profit that you make, or the money that you make, has to go right back into more inventory. So say if I spend, like hypothetically, say if someone spent 500 on lashes, right? And they bought 100 trays, right? Just hypothetically, they bought 100 trays of lashes. Once those 100 trays sell, now you have to buy another 500 worth of trays, plus maybe another 500, and double it. That way you can give your clients the steady inventory, because the #1 thing that is the problem with a lot of products is out of stock. Not because of them, but sometimes it could be because COVID, shipping, things of that nature. So definitely COVID kind of messed everything up sometimes with shipping, pricing, and things like that, and the shortage in certain things. So always remember that it's not going to be fast money right away. You're not going to see a profit right away, because you're going to have to take that money you made and re-up on more product, right? So the money I spent on my first inventory, I did not see. I had to actually spend more money on more inventory, which is double what I spent. So guys, make sure that, and you also have to keep into account that your website fees, your marketing fees, design, all that comes out of your profit. So make sure you know what your profit margins are. Make sure you know how to scale your product so that you can, see a profit later on and know what you're doing and not losing money, if that makes sense. So I hope this helps somebody. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so the next question is, Tips on being a faster lash tech. Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not a fast lash tech. I'm not. I'm not an hour and a half lash tech. I'm not a 30-minute, 45-minute fill. I'm actually slow. Like, I'm not about to be funny, but I think I am slow compared to other lash techs. I do take 2 hours. I'm not slow. Let's just say I'm average, right? So I'm the average lash tech, and then the people that are faster are more like super above average, you know. And sometimes faster may not always be good, because you may not always have your placement down, you may not always have your isolation down, and your retention may suck. So I take my time with my sets because I do a lot of wispy sets for one, and I do be strategic about where I'm placing my lashes and what I want to use. Another thing that keep in mind is a lot of times clients be skeptical when you too fast. Like, I had a client who went to somebody that's fast, and she was like, I had got up in like 30 minutes and I thought my lashes was effed up, in which they were effed up. So you have to understand that a lot of clients that be getting lashes on a regular, they don't really care for fast service. Some clients be wanting to lay down, have a venting moment, have a chit chat with you, and honestly just get away from work, get away from kids, get away from drama. They love just coming and relaxing and being in a nice spa environment. So being fast is not always the best thing. I do love taking my time with my clients because I do build a connection with my clients, and I do love talking to them, and I do love how I can get my placement down, and I do love how I can just incorporate what I want into a set by taking my time. Don't be rushing on your sets, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, time gets down the more you do it. I've been doing lashes for like 3 to 4 years now, so my time is still 2 hours. I think that's just the fastest I'm gonna be. But some people, you can get down to that hour and a half, that 30-minute, that 45-minute. But you just have to keep practicing. Don't try to beat the clock. You know, just try to keep practicing. A couple tips to be faster, I can say, is to like be ready. Have your tape, iPads, everything out, lashes out if you know what curl length you're using on that client. And stop talking as much. Like, a lot of us, we do talk, which can slow us down. Another thing I can say is maybe if you don't want to do full coverage, but me, I don't like jipping my clients out of full coverage. They're going to get the full coverage they want. Unless they say they don't want that full, then I won't do it. But a lot of people do sets in an hour or so, and they don't do every client lash. So I don't understand why they call it a full set if it's not going to be one. But that's neither here or there. But you can do that. I've seen people do that, and they create like really, really wide bands to cover most of the coverage, and then they'll try to like be done in an hour. So that's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I personally, I'm not a fast person. I can't give you like super crazy tips on how to be fast. But honestly, it comes with practice and time. Because when I first did a lash set, I did my set in I think like 3 hours maybe, or 5. My friend sat there for a long time, and it was barely nothing on her eye. Barely nothing on her eye. So just be mindful about that. Don't start overnight. You know, everybody don't become fast like fucking lightning bolts. So always just make sure that you're honestly isolating good. Have a good isolation tweezer, good product, good glue, good tweezers. Boom. Good lashes, I mean. Boom. That's all you need. That's all you need to really get fast, and just knowing what you're doing and practicing, and you can't go wrong with practicing. Once you have your muscle memory down pat, it's gonna be like it's nothing. I'm trying to tell you. So just keep practicing. On to the next question. We're almost winding down. Okay, so the next question is, will you be having a sale on your lashes? So I did just have a 25% Labor Day sale on my lashes, and it did go well. Most of the inventory is definitely going, and I'm happy to see that I have a lot of repeat customers. So that means a good thing. But I will be having another sale probably when I restock. Make sure you subscribe to my mailing list. I'm gonna put everything below. Text the number, and you will definitely get on your first order 15% off. So definitely try that. And you also will be the first to get deals, restocks, secrets, discount codes that the public won't get. So definitely subscribe to my mailing list because it's definitely beneficial. It's definitely for all my VIP customers. Yeah, so if you want to try them, text the number, get your 15%, and you can get 15% off your first order if you want to try the lashes. But I will have another sale soon, because that's the question was. I'll have another sale soon. Okay, last but not least, the last question is, what are some tips for a beginner lash tech? Okay, so I would say it's not easy. It's really not easy. It's definitely hard. The most thing I can say is it's not for the weak. A lot of us make excuses about how it's so hard. Nothing is easy, guys. Nothing is easy. I'm sorry, I said in my eye. Nothing is easy, okay? Riding a bike wasn't easy when you first started. Writing your first name wasn't easy. Walking wasn't even easy when you first started. So guys, you have to understand nothing is easy. Nothing worth having is easy, okay? You have to work hard at something. If you really want something and if it's your passion, you're going to do anything in your power to make it work, okay? Period. If you love, let's say, if you love buying a Chanel bag, right? You want this Chanel bag on your birthday. Like, this is what you want. This is what you're dying for. This is the heaven of all bags. They got the little strap on the end. They got the CC. You're going to try to save up and do whatever you can to get that bag, because that's something you want and you love. You just love Chanel. You love designer. You love that bag. Same for your business. Treat that bag just like your business. If that is something you love, if success is something you love, money, lashes, treat it like it's your baby. Treat it like it's the end of the world and go get it, right? So being consistent and not giving up and having that dedication to stay in it for the long run. That is the difference between people who are in the game for 10 to 15 years versus people who are just giving up on the first month, okay? Though people take a class and they'll throw their tweezers in a drawer the first month and they'll never look at them tweezers again because they're not consistent. They're thinking it's so hard. Nothing is easy, okay? Being consistent is number one. And I know you probably think it's so cliche because everybody says being consistent, be consistent. No, that's really what it is being consistent. When I first started, I had 0 clientele. 1 client a week, 2 clients a day, maybe. $85 a week, $1,500 a month, okay? So you have to understand that being consistent for me definitely changed my life. Taking other courses, being able to learn. A lot of us think we're know-it-alls. Being able to sit there and say, you know what, I do need help. You know what, I do need to take this other class. You know what, I do need to get my isolation nail pack. A lot of us want to be experts so fast and they're not humble enough to say, you know what, I do need help. I do need to take my time out to ask her this question or invest in another class. So don't be afraid. A person who is a know-it-all don't know nothing, okay? Because they're not willing to learn from other people. Always be willing to learn and always be willing to network and get out there with other people. Don't be shy and just always put yourself out there, okay? Having great quality products when you first start make all the difference. Don't go the cheap route. Go ahead and get a quality lash course. Take quality products. Get a quality phone. Quality bed. Everything is quality. That way you don't have to sit here and rebrand and do everything over again. Start off hard as soon as you get it. Don't be slipping away. I'm telling you, there's so much money in this industry and it will change your life. Honestly, lashes has changed so many people's lives. It's a shame. Like, I love lashes. I love everything about it. I love what I can do with it. I love the freedom. I've been traveling so much. I just love everything about lashes. So guys, make sure that if this is what you want to do, you're in it for the long run, okay? And that's just like the best advice I can give you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope I wasn't too boring for y'all. If you guys want me to do more videos like this, please comment, subscribe, and let me know. Follow me on Instagram at JMBeauty with 3 underscores. And check out my website, www.shopjmbeauty.com is where you can find all the products that I just mentioned in this video. And guys, let me know how you like them. Write a review. And let me know anything else you guys want me to see. I love you guys, and I hope I can continue to make more videos for y'all. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Love you. Follow me.